Okay, so now we're going to deal with the last bit of conversions, which is what we call rate conversions. Now, the question that comes to be, what the heck does rate mean? Well, rate is a comparison of two variables within one system. In other words, miles per hour is a comparison of miles with hours. Okay, feet per second, feet compared to seconds, distance with time. The per means divided by. So it's a fraction, which is a division statement, but the word per is telling you that you have a fraction where the numerator would be like 70 miles and the denominator would be 1 hour. Even though we don't say 70 miles per 1 hour, when we say 70 miles per hour, we mean exactly that, 70 miles divided by 1 hour. And we're going to use that in our conversions. Now, this is actually going to be two sets of conversions in one problem. In the case of 70 miles per hour, we want to change that to meters per second. We would have to change the 70 miles to meters and the 1 hour to seconds. And again, like we've always done, we try to use labels first to show how all that cancels out. Then we put in the numbers, and that's exactly what I'm going to demand of you to do, is exactly that. You wrote on your quiz, and anything else we do from here on in that involves some form of conversions, you'll be asked to take care of the labels first and then put in the numbers. Okay, so let's look at exactly that problem that we're talking about. 70 miles per hour equals how many meters per second? And we are going to use a conversion. Now, anytime we go from English to metric or metric to English units, I will give you that conversion that I want you to use. You may have other options on your calculator or in a book someplace, but you are going to use only the one that I give you. So that one is 1 kilometer equals 0.621 miles. Okay, so this is how that works. We have 70 miles per 1 hour. And we are going to convert the miles to meters, and we're going to convert the hours to seconds. Now, it makes no difference which one you do first. The trickier one of the two is the hours to seconds, because now we have a conversion starting in the denominator instead of the numerator. But it really does make a difference which one you do first. I generally always do the top number first, or the top value first, and the bottom value second. Whatever it takes to get the right answer, that's fine. So, I'm going to take miles and put it down here to cancel that out. And the conversion of 1 kilometer equals 0.621 miles is what we're going to use here. I'm not going to put the numbers in yet, but it tells me what label is going to go on top. And that will be my kilometers. Now I can change kilometers to meters because they're both of the same base unit, the meter. Kilometers cancel out. And there's my meters on top. We want to end up with meters per second, so meters must end up on top. It does, yay me. Now we go to the hours. And again, this is where people tend to have issues. Since the hour is in the denominator here, to get rid of it, we have to put the hours in the numerator over here. That will cancel that out. And as you can see, this really takes care of the issues of when do I multiply, when do I divide. It gets tricky with two different sets of numbers on a fraction. So we know, because that's in the denominator, that this has to be the numerator over here. We're going to convert that to minutes, because that's the conversion that we are all familiar with. Minutes on top, convert that, and we change that to seconds, and that's what we want on the bottom, meters per second. Now we're going to plug in numbers. So we follow the rules that we've been given here. In the first case here, we have kilometers and miles, and that's when we go to the conversion I gave you, which was 1 kilometer equals 0.621 miles. So that means the 0.621 goes with the miles, and the 1 goes with the kilometer. That never changes. Whatever is stated in that conversion there, that number always has to go with that up there. You can't move that around. Okay? Then we come to the next fraction. Now we have meters and kilometers, and we go to the question, which one of the two labels is the larger label? Well, K in kilometers capitalized, that tells us it's larger. If you get a lowercase k, which I've seen a lot, it's unfortunate, but it happens, you still have to recognize the fact that kilo is a large label compared to the base label. Just think of somebody going, I am going to kill you. Big guy like me going to kill. Okay, so we'll put the 1 by the kilometer, and the prefix kilo, whatever that means, goes up here. The number associated with that was 1,000 or 10 to the third power. Then we come over here, hour and minutes. We know that for every 1 hour we have 60 minutes. And then 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. And this is generally an area where I find the most disturbing mistakes, because I can tell people are just hurry up to get done when they tell me that there are 60 seconds in an hour. Don't do that, please. I'm begging you. Because it doesn't hurt me, it'll embarrass you when you realize that you put down that there's 60 seconds in an hour. Unless life is just going by really fast for you. Then in which case, you must be, what, 120 years old? Anyway, so now we're going to go to the calculator and then plug it in, and then I'll give you a rounding off here. I believe I went to 1 decimal place for this, but let's find out. We go down over here. Yes, we want 1 decimal place, and we get 31.3 meters per second when the smoke clears. So this is really no different than what we've done before. Just now we have 2 conversion problems into 1. So you need to treat it like that, same rules. And your practice problems are given at the bottom of your script or at the end of the video, which is now. Good luck.